yet yearn for peace. Today beholds a day where we strive in one voice to end the menace of addiction, the need for artificial happiness, and the knowledge to do no harm. I thus welcome all gathered for this aspirational session on the observance of International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, hoping thus to create awareness among all of the disastrous effects of substance abuse. There is a saying that anything in moderation is good, but there are some things that is not required to be taken to keep our health. We should realize that liberty or freedom or one's personal right, if misused, causes harm to people around them. To grow a fruit, it takes a determinant that can alter and make conditions to bear fruit. What I want to convey is that it takes a whole village to raise a child, and if a child is lost, it has an impact on the very nation's foundation. Never as an individual put yourself right in the garb of freedom, but in a moral philosophy of autonomy, that is, the capacity of a person to act in accordance with objective morality rather than under the influence of desires.
To be here in this venerable institution and to be able to come and see all of you and be a part of this program, because the Father Miller Institution, this medical college and hospital, is not only a famous and well-known institution for Mangalore, but not only for Karnataka but across India. It is one of those premier institutions that we have, and first of all I would like to convey to the Reverend Father Richard Coelho for having this program over here and having given me this opportunity to come over here. Thank you very much, Reverend. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಾತನಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನನ್ನ ಇಲಾಖೆ ಕೂಡ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಇಲಾಖೆ. ಸೊ ಎರಡೂ ಭಾಳ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ನನ್ನ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟು ಮತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎರಡೂ ಕೂಡ ಭಾಳ ಹತ್ತಿರವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. I am holding the health portfolio. So drugs and drug abuse and its impact on our society and the impact on people's physical and mental health, it has a huge impact. So me being the health minister, I think it's all the more relevant that I'm speaking on this subject today, because this is definitely a major problem that we are seeing today all across the country, and I see in many parts of the state, especially in urban areas in Karnataka, where use of drugs and is becoming more rampant, and ಹೆಚ್ಚೆಚ್ಚು ಜನ ಇದನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. And the availability also is becoming very convenient, and it's becoming very difficult for the police, the law and order to able to track it and to be able to stop it. So it's a big challenge. So on one side, how do we stop the drugs coming into the system, coming into our cities, and on the other side, how we create awareness amongst our youth, because normally the usage of drugs starts at a younger age when you're in a youthful age. And of course all of you will very well know, are very well aware of the what can happen to you if you start using drugs more extensively. Just like what our Reverend Richard Coelho said, or I think somebody else said that it can just, it's not that something to be even used in moderation. Many people think of using this as a one-off and say, let me just see how it feels what experience I will get. And then slowly it starts taking you in, and you become more and more addicted to it. Also, peer pressure and people who are close to you or somebody else who's friendly with you may also initiate you into that. So, the main aspect is how do we stop and how do we educate our people. That is I think the important part. And having this day today is to just focus on this issue. Everybody knows about this issue, but having an international day of against drug abuse and illicit trafficking is to try and bring focus on this issue and make our people think about it and discuss about it openly and see how we can create a better way of tackling this problem. So it is a big challenge. It's undoubtedly a big challenge, but it's ultimately the awareness amongst our people to see that we don't get addicted to it, or we start using it. There are so many other intoxicants. There is alcohol, there is even tobacco, and there are other intoxicants, and all of them have got damage potential. But I think the damage potential in usage of illicit drugs, starting from marijuana or ganja, whatever you say, to other various variations and so many other party drugs. All these there are many such drugs available today. And people who, there are so many other chemicals that are being used. So the awareness is what I think is finally the key to overcome this. So that we can tell people that people should think about it and say that this is not going to be good for us, this is not healthy for us, this is going to spoil our lives. It spoils your life not only in terms of your health, it spoils your life in terms of your finances, it spoils your life in terms of your growth in potential. It can completely destroy you also. So it is a very, very dangerous proposition to even think about start using it. It may look harmless. It may at that moment think that at a young age you feel like let me just experience it. But so many, I know even when I was young, there are so many of my friends who got caught up with it and who lost years of their lives because of this. And finally when they came out of it, they suffered, their family suffered, and everybody suffered. So our aim on keeping this day is to tell all of you what are the consequences and to make you aware that don't let other people also do it. They could be your friends, they could be your relatives, they could be somebody who you know. So whenever someone is doing it, by keeping quiet, you're not helping the cause. If you don't open your mouth and you don't speak out and tell them that stop using it, or tell their parents, or inform somebody, you're not doing them anybody any good. By keeping quiet, you're actually encouraging it. So that is something all of you should think about. Because this is ultimately the welfare of your people whom you know, and ultimately the welfare of the society itself. So these are the things that you should consciously think about and not say that they are doing it, let them do what they want, this is not my problem. It is your problem. Because today it may not be affecting you directly, but at some point of time it affects everybody. So I think that's a fantastic contribution you have made in terms of in the health sector, in the education sector, in taking care of old people, charitable work. You've inspired others now. I think looking at you, so many other religious organizations have seen the way Christian missionaries and Christian organizations have worked, and they've got inspired. If they are doing it, why can't we do it? Whether it is the Muslim organizations, whether it's the Hindu organizations and mutts and everybody, they also have, I think, been inspired by your work and seeing that if they could do it, why can't we do it also? And it has helped in spreading education and health across the state and country. So it is a really cosmopolitan district. Christians, Muslims, Hindus. Yes, there are some complications. Yes, there are issues that are being nowadays raised on creating this, differences, where the differences between communities are getting highlighted. Whereas what do we want? We want everybody to come together.